Okay, to say we're running late, by the way, these leaves look really nice, is a bit of an understatement. I need to get to the other side of town by 11 o'clock, and it is currently 10:42. So, yeah, let's get going, like, quick. Okay, so I didn't really explain much on what I'm doing exactly or why I'm going anywhere or anything like that. Essentially, this is a Raspberry Pi. For those of you guys who aren't in computer science, this is essentially the world's smallest computer, or well, one of the world's smallest computers that you can program on your own. I just picked that up for 60 bucks. Well, actually no, my dad picked it up for 60 bucks. I'm just the delivery boy, I guess. So I need to go back and give it to him. So on that note, let's get going. Okay, so right over here we have the Raspberry Pi. So this is the world's smallest computer. I know this isn't really a car thing, but my other hobby besides cars is technology, electronics. I'm a big tech person. I love having, well, I wouldn't say I love having the latest and greatest. I'm not really one of those types of people, but I do like having good technology. And quite frankly, just like my cars, I like having quirky technology as well. I've always wanted a Raspberry Pi, never really knew how to do anything with it. I've always wanted to try and play Minecraft off a Raspberry Pi. If you guys don't know, there is in fact a Raspberry Pi edition of Minecraft. What I'm holding is the whole computer. This is it. So like, rather than needing a giant laptop or anything like that, this is all the computer is. It has all the ports, it has all, well yeah, quite frankly, all the ports. It also came with all the cables, the mouse, and everything that you'd ever need.
Several bad puns later.
Real quick, let me do a few. Ah, that sounds nice. Anyways. Okay, so now for the reason you guys actually clicked on this video, what confuses me about my BMW Z3? So I've had this BMW Z3, and I've mentioned this in a previous video. I've now had it for over 2 years. And the first thing about it that's confused me since day one, this is a day one thing that confused me, is the key. Now you might be wondering, well, this is just a normal BMW key. Yes, you are correct on this. This is a normal BMW key from the era. But the thing that confuses me about it is that it just has a flashlight on it. Like, I don't understand that. Like, what is the point of this flashlight type of key? Like, I don't know. It's one of those things that I don't exactly have words for, because it's like, it doesn't unlock the car. It doesn't lock the car. It never was designed to do that. It was just designed to be a flashlight. Like, I know I have this power lock module, which we'll talk about in a minute. That did not come with the car. That was installed aftermarket by me and Thomas. I'll put a video about that in the description below. But this is what came with the car. And this is what I'm pretty sure you would have gotten from factory, from BMW. So the fact that it does, as you can see, absolutely nothing. Like, if I lock the car, it does nothing. I also did want to just come on and just quickly mention, this is not meant to be a Z3 hate video. This is not meant to be a video going against the Z3 or anything like that, or complaining about the Z3. It's more a video about just, hey, I don't understand some things about the Z3. I don't understand some of its quirks. Is there a reason behind it? I'm not too sure. If you guys know the reason, I'd greatly appreciate it if you let me know, but I'm just curious. So yeah, let's keep going. Now the second thing that confuses me about the Z3, and we have to go inside of the car to actually take a look at it, is this. The automatic transmission in the BMW Z3. This thing makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. I don't understand why BMW would put an automatic transmission into a car like this. Like, this was 1998. A bunch of people in 1998, I would assume, actually knew how to drive a stick shift. And the Z3 was offered with a 5-speed manual, a fairly decent 5-speed manual from what I've heard. But this 4-speed automatic, I've given it love like maybe once or twice, but I have to admit, this thing is not really that great. Like, the only probably good option is that you have a sport mode here, but that's about it really. Like, not much else good comes from this. It's an unreliable, clunky, just overall kind of crappy transmission. Essentially, this transmission is just kind of, it doesn't make sense. It's a GM product, first of all. Secondly, how come it's in a BMW, you know? Like, why would you put a GM transmission into a BMW? I know now they have ZF transmissions, which they share with, I believe it's like Jeeps and stuff like that. But this, GM wasn't really known for good transmissions back then. They're not known for good transmissions now. And so it doesn't make sense why they went for GM on a 4-speed automatic, as well as the fact that this car is a 4-speed. Like, I understand it's a roadster and stuff like that. It's meant to be driven in back roads, not during highways, but you're gonna take the car on the highway once in a while. it's always good to have a car, or well, I guess it's good to have a gear that won't leave you at 3,000 RPM going 70 miles an hour. That's my honest opinion on that. Maybe it's also because the car is kind of slow, if I'm being honest, but still, I mean, I don't know. I understand that some people may not know how to drive stick shift or unable to, and they want a Z3, and I get that BMW might have made that for them, but at the same time, though, it's also like, why this transmission, you know? Like, a 5-speed would have made sense in that aspect, in my personal opinion. I know this point sounds very complainy, and I know a lot of people are going to tell me, why didn't you get a manual? Why didn't you get a manual? And it's not about what I got or what I didn't get. It's about what they offered, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that's my personal vendetta with this, and I guess my personal confusion with this. So, yeah, if you guys know why, comments below. Yeah. While we're on the inside, there is one other thing that I never understood. So, if we take the key, which, yes, the flashlight key, put it in the ignition, it's in the run position right now. The fan is at 0, right? The fan is at 0, and you can still feel air coming out of these things. Like, legitimately, there is still air coming out of these vents, even though the fans are set to 0. The only way to actually shut off the air is to close the vents themselves, but I'm still pretty sure the fans are running. Even if I turn off the chiller button and open it up still, there's still air. I'm not sure why BMW didn't just put like a fan off button somewhere. Like, they could have probably put a fan off button somewhere in the center. I'm not too sure where. I feel like they could have maybe put it down here. But regardless of where it would go, the functionality of a fan off button would just make this so much easier. Because then it's like, you have to turn off this vent, and this vent, which 3 vents, yeah, but it's just a whole process versus like, you know, just a nice fan off button, call it a day, perfect. And now the final thing that really confuses me about this car is the BMW Z3 a manly car or a girly car? I can't figure it out. Like, legitimately, this car, I have seen both men and women just in awe with this car. And some are like, oh, it's so cute, it's so girly, it's so cute, and all that. And then others are like, dude, this car is amazing, it's so sharp. And I mean, part of it might be because James Bond drove this car, but then on the other end, it's like, this feels like a Barbie car. Like, I've talked about wrapping this thing pink in the past because of the fact that I feel like Barbie would drive something like this, which is weird that James Bond would also drive something like this, because he did drive something like this. And so I'm not sure, like, a lot of cars out there are described as like either manly or girly. Like, I feel like, I don't even know, Jeeps might be considered girly, while something like a Mustang would be considered manly. I don't really care much about the whole gender stereotype things when it comes to cars. I mean, it's like, it's a car, drive what you want, you know? Who cares if it's manly or girly? But I don't get the thing on this one, because some people say manly, some people say girly. Like, this is something where it doesn't make sense. This one, I guess you could say, just defies all gender norms and stuff like that, which is fair. But at the same time, it's like, who really... Because sometimes it'll be the case of like, someone thinks I'm driving a girly car and gives me flack for that. And then I gotta tell them, yeah, no, I mean, James Bond drove something like this. So I'm not sure, really. Like, what would you guys consider this? A manly car? A girly car? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And just like that, today's video is in fact over. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you guys also get, I guess, confused by some of these points with the Z3? I'm not sure if I'm the only one or if I'm crazy or something like that, but that's what honestly confuses me about this Z3. And if you like what you're seeing, leave a subscribe. And just like that, I'm out. I have a meeting in like 20 minutes and it's a 20-minute drive back home, so I gotta get going. Peace.